Okay, how's it going, everybody? So, we're going to get back into the German ideology with Karl Marx. Part 1, Feuerbach, Opposition of the Materialist and Idealist Outlook. And this is A, Idealism and Materialism. So, last time we read Production and Intercourse, Division of Labor and Forms of Property, Tribal, Ancient, and Feudal. This time we're going to read the essence of the materialist conception of history, social being, and social consciousness. Let's go ahead and get into this. It says, the fact is, therefore, that definite individuals who are productively active in a definite way enter into these definite social and political relations. Empirical observation must, in each separate instance, bring out empirically, and without any mystification and speculation, the connection of the social and political structure with production. The social structure and the state are continually evolving out of the life process of definite individuals, but of individuals, not as that may appear in their own or other people's imagination, but as they really are, i.e., as they operate, produce materially, and hence as they work under definite material limits, presuppositions and conditions independent of their will. The production of ideas of conceptions of consciousness is at first directly interwoven with the material activity and the material intercourse of men. The language of real life, conceiving, thinking, the mental intercourse of men appear at this stage as the direct efflux of their material behavior. The same applies to mental production as expressed in the language of politics, laws, morality, religion, metaphysics, etc., of a people. Men are the producers of their conceptions, ideas, etc. Real, active men, as they are conditioned by a definite development of their productive forces, and of the intercourse corresponding to these up to its furthest forms. Consciousness can never be anything else than conscious existence, and the existence of men is their actual life process. If in all ideology men and their circumstances appear upside down, as in camera obscura, this phenomena arises just as much from their historical life process as the inversion of objects on the retina does from their physical life process. In direct contrast to the German philosophy, which descends from the heaven to earth, here we ascend from earth to heaven. That is to say, we do not set out from what men say, imagine, conceive, nor from men as narrated, thought of, imagined, conceived, in order to arrive at men in the flesh. We set out from real, active men, and on the basis of their real-life process, we demonstrate the development of the ideological reflexes and echoes of this life process. The phantoms formed in the human brain are also necessarily sublimits of their material life process, which is empirically verifiable, and bound to material premises. Morality, religion, metaphysics, all the rest of ideology, and their corresponding forms of consciousness, thus no longer retain the semblance of independence. They have no history, no development, but men developing their material production and their material intercourse alter along with their real existence. Their real existence, their thinking and the products of their thinking. Life is not determined by consciousness, but consciousness by life. In the first method of approach, the starting point is consciousness, taken as the living individual, and the second method, which conforms to real life. It is the real living individuals themselves, and consciousness is considered solely as their consciousness. This method of approach is not devoid of premises. It starts out from the real premises and does not abandon them for a moment. Its premises are men, not in any fantastic isolation or in rigidity, but in their actual empirically perceptible process of development under definite conditions. As soon as this active life process is described, history ceases to be a collection of dead facts, as it is with the empiricists, themselves still abstract, or in a managed activity of imagined objects as with the idealists. Where speculation ends in real life, there real, positive science begins. The representation of the practical activity of the practical process of development of men. Empty talk about consciousness ceases, and real knowledge has to take its place. When reality is depicted, philosophy as an independent branch of knowledge loses its medium of existence. At the best, its place can only be taken by a summing up of the most general results, abstractions which arise from the observation of the historical development of men. Viewed apart from real history, these abstractions have in themselves no value whatsoever. They can only serve to facilitate the arrangement of historical material, to indicate the sequence of its separate strata. But they by no means afford a recipe or a schema, as does philosophy, for neatly trimming the epochs of history. On the contrary, our difficulties begin only when we set about the observation and the arrangement, the real depiction of our historical material, whether of a past epoch or of the present. The removal of these difficulties is governed by premises, which is quite impossible to state here, but which only the study of the actual life, process, and the activity of the individuals of each epoch will make evident. We shall select here some of these abstractions, which we use in contradistinction to the ideologists, and shall illustrate them by historical examples. Okay, yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. This was written in 1845. That was The Essence of Materialist Conception of History, Social Being, and Social Consciousness. Yeah, well, thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. All these are Marxist Sock. Y'all hit me up here. It's probably on YouTube where you're seeing this. So thank y'all. Y'all have a great day. And the data go.